Hey everyone, welcome back. Let's talk some Hbar. All right, now this is where we kind of hit the turning point as we get out of Q3 into Q4 very shortly. And I really want to kind of spend some time talking about Hedera, as this has been one of the cryptos I think I've hit on probably better. Maybe other Chainlink would be another one for 2025 as kind of my best large cap cryptos that are within the top 25 that have done exceedingly well, as we were buying Hbar at 4, 5, and 6 cents. So let's get into this conversation, guys. I want to share with you guys my thoughts. As always, please remember, not financial advice. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please do so now. Appreciate you all tuning in. Give me a couple minutes of your time, and let's talk some crypto. All right, so first and foremost, before we get into the potential for an Hbar price movement, I do want to get into the big announcement right now within the institutions, and this will be something as we look into the ETFs. If this will happen, time will tell. But I think as we've seen the filings by Grayscale and Canary, this is where Hbar is getting into the spotlight as a approval odds and price momentum has been on the rise within what we've been talking about. And I'm going to share with you guys kind of what this is all about, as this has now taken some legitimacy within the space. Now, full disclosure, as we do look in these filings, one thing I will share with you within Hbar and pretty much every other crypto as well, I'm not a big fan of the ETF discussion, okay? That's just me. That's my take. It's not me telling you to not buy any crypto or to buy any crypto, right? I'll never tell you to do that. It's just how I feel about it personally, right? So when we get these big announcements, oh my God, we have 17 Hbar ETF filings. It doesn't make me run to my phone or my app or my desktop and get on the horn or any exchange and start buying up Hbar. I was doing that pretty much without the ETFs, and all the ETF does is it brings in the institutions, brings in more volume. Yes, it will do a lot for the capital discussion, but I think that when we talk about what's needed and what actually we need for crypto, it doesn't have anything to do with ETFs. Okay, crypto is meant to not have banks into the discussion. Yes, we are very early, but I don't think ETFs get us there. Okay, I think that's most evident with what we've seen with Bitcoin, Ethereum. Ethereum is back over $4,000, and that had nothing to do with the ETFs, in my personal opinion. Okay, so as we look at Hbar, like we talked about, okay, this is where we look into the first filed date on February of 2024. The final deadline's coming up 11/11 on 2025. We've seen these be pushed back once again, but the odds of approval for 2025 that we do see from some of the prediction markets now sitting at 90% for Hbar. Okay, so that's kind of the big news coming out from that. You want to talk about the green light that people are looking at. Will the ETFs give us a breakout as we do look at some of the momentum shifts, right? We've seen the RSI get closer to that neutral point. Also, the MACD hinting at a very strong possible shift in momentum. That is one kind of technical that I do look at. Also, if we do want to talk about it, it would not shock me whatsoever. I think Hbar is a lot closer to 50 cents versus 5 cents. That's just kind of how I feel about it. All right. So if you do want to kind of use it as perspective, that's exactly what we're talking about. And I will show you guys this chart right now, because this is basically what I'm talking about. Okay, we were buying Hbar right here at the bottom, pretty much in that extenuating pump that we did have, and then we got it again right after we fell off. But this is kind of what I think kind of got everybody's attention from traders. These giant green candles that we were seeing right here, okay, this just doesn't happen because, it's the crypto of the month to start trading. Hbar is built for something different. I think that Hedera is building something very special, and we talk, what they're getting into with RWAs and just really trying to partner with the right people within the space to get the job done. That's kind of why they're on my short list of cryptos within my high conviction plays for me personally. Okay, but I do want to talk about what we're doing on the charts today, and also kind of give way into something we're doing. So I will pull this up real quickly for you guys to see, and that's where we're going to get into the chart as it stands right now as for Hbar, pretty much where we've seen a kind of rocky day, right? We were red, we were green, we were red, we were green, and now looking like we're going to close it out on a red note. But Hbar is still there, 18th in market cap, trading at a 22.59 level. So up 2.4% on the day. We're up on the week, but for the month, it's been something where we've seen a lot of, I guess you would say, a negative trend line kind of decreasing us from that 27 cents resistance that we were faced with. But guys, this has been an outstanding year for Hedera. As we talked about it, 4, 5, 6 cents. Those were the levels of entry that we've had for Hbar. And, at one point, almost a 10x for some people that were trading this crypto. So it is just impressive to see this basically happen from November of 2024 up to January of 2025. in just basically 2 months. Outstanding price action. And we've been on a little bit of a downward consolidation that doesn't really have me alarmed, okay? Because I think this is kind of what we've seen with XRP a little bit. The $2 is the new 50 cents. The 20 cents is the new 5 cents for Hbar, respectively. That's just how I feel about it, okay? So we're going to get into some of the price signals as well, a little bit more so on both sides of the argument. Can Hbar go down? Can it go up? We'll talk about that. But first, if you guys are futures traders, all right, I want you to explore the link I have in the description. That's to sign up with BITUNIX. That is my exchange that I do trade spot and futures on. Right now, they're offering 25% to your futures trading account in a bonus through September 11th. So if you haven't taken advantage of this, I do suggest you click the link, check out what they have to offer. Great interface, great app, and one of the more streamlined approaches to trading futures. That's why I use BITUNIX. So like I said, guys, go enjoy that 25% bonus if it's right for you and you do your due diligence, okay? But this is kind of what we came here to talk about as we are looking at the sideways trap that we're trying to escape. All right, now this is coming out from beincrypto.com, and we are looking at kind of the storyline just recently as we've seen a lot of resistance, right? That 22, 23 cents, but we have a very strong floor and support around that 20, 21 cents level. And I think that as we've seen a lot of the volatility weaken, and a lot of the trading volume is picking up across the board, but it's kind of where we've seen this fight. Are we going to be bullish? Are we going to be bearish? And nobody, quite frankly, has that opinion. That's why we're seeing the RSI, like we talked about, it is very much shifted towards that neutral territory, as it is basically a 43.77, so just a tick below 44, more so slightly on that bearish side of the game, but still very much considered neutral. Now, this is where we aren't seeing too much being oversold. It's just a little bit more so oversold condition-wise than overbought, but I think that is something where we look into the average true range, the ATR for Hbar. We've been on a steady decline since August 3rd. That is reflecting that steady drop in market volatility, sitting there at 0.0122. So that is why we want to target us right now, because if this does climb, it's signaling that widening range of the price swings with heightened market activity. So on a decline, that's when we have more stability, it's shrinking fluctuations, and there's a lack of momentum in either direction, okay? So consolidation isn't always a bad thing if you are able to take advantage of it before a breakout, and that's kind of where there's really going to be no future catalyst that we're all dreaming of, right? If we do get the ETF news, that's going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news event. As always, doesn't mean that long term it can't be good, but just in the short to intermediate term, that's where you're going to take advantage of a 10 to 12% move, and then it's going to sell off, and it's going to end up resulting probably, in that 4 to 5% negative before we even had that announcement. That's why I don't like the ETFs, guys. Okay. But I think the big question is, will we see the bulls or bears win the RSI, win the momentum side of it? They're fighting for control, and I think that's kind of why we've had this sideways consolidation around 22 cents. Me personally, I think that's kind of where we look into that break, right? We want to escape that sideways movement, but I think that as long as we stay above 21 cents, like I said earlier in this video, I think Hbar is closer to 50 cents than it is to 5 cents. And that's just how I feel about it personally. So I wanted to share with you guys my thoughts and comments in this video, okay? I'll leave you all with that. I hope you all enjoy it. Please come here for your Hbar news every single day. We try to get a conversation going where we talk Hedera. And I thank you guys all for returning, all my returning subscribers out there. And we'll see you out there in the next video. Cheers.